Hey everyone, welcome to the ranking. Here's my ranking of all of Hugh Jackman's movies. Yes, you saw me do this for actors like Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans, and now it's Hugh Jackman's turn. I'm going to be ranking every movie Hugh Jackman has been in. That's 26 movies, so I'm going to do this really quickly. And yeah, and also, I'm not ranking all of his movies that he's like a small role in. Like, if he's been in a movie and he's not really big in the movie, I'm not going to count it. I'm only counting the movies he's an actual character in. So, like X-Men First Class, I'm not going to count that and stuff. And then, so yeah, let's get to it. Here's my ranking of all of Hugh Jackman's movies, from my least favorite to my favorite. Let's get started. Coming in number 26 is Movie 43. Movie 43 is a movie with a bunch of skits, and all of them are incredibly unfunny. This movie stars a big comedic cast, and all of them are just god-awful. This is one of the worst comedic movies I have ever seen this entire fucking decade. I hate Movie 43. And Hugh Jackman in this movie, he has balls on his neck and stuff. He opens the movie with Kate Winslet, and it's absolutely stupid, and this is the worst god-awful piece of shit movie he's ever played in. Come number 25 is Deception. Yes, he co-stars in this movie with Michelle Williams and Ewan McGregor, and this movie is god-awful. It's got horrible plot twists, terrible derivative dialogue, horrible direction, and it's just a forgettable, bland, boring, stupid psychological thriller, and it's a terrible movie. If Movie 43 didn't come out at all, this would be his worst movie, but Movie 43 takes it by a little bit, so this is his second worst movie. But yeah, Deception, awful movie. Number 24 is Butter. Butter is a movie that came out, 2013-ish, and this was a stupid comedy. Thank God Hugh Jackman isn't very big in the movie, but he's still awful in this movie. Jennifer Garner and stuff. It's got a stupid premise, stupid story, horrible writing, terrible plot twist, terrible and obvious plot holes, and everything about this movie just doesn't work. The premise isn't smart, the writing isn't clever, and I just hated this movie. Butter, awful movie. Come number 23 is Pan. Yes, Pan. Hugh Jackman in this movie plays Blackbeard, a guy who sings Smells Like Teen Spirit. Here we are now, entertain us. Such a stupid movie. Garrett Hedlund, Rooney Mara, all awful in this movie. I'll leave a link down below. I did a whole review of this movie and how much I hated it. But yeah, Pan, awful movie. It's an insult to the Peter Pan story. It is no Peter Pan, it is no Hook, it is no Finding Neverland. It is just the worst thing ever that has anything to do with Peter Pan. Coming number 22 is Chappie. Yes, Chappie, Neil Blomkamp. I'm a big fan of Neil Blomkamp. I love District 9, I love Elysium. This movie was just stupid. Just so stupid. It has two horrible lead characters, has an interesting idea, but just completely squanders it. Again, I'll leave a link down below. I did a whole review of this movie. Hated this movie. One of the worst movies Hugh Jackman has been in. Coming number 21 is Scoop. Scoop, yes, a Woody Allen movie that stars Woody Allen, Hugh Jackman, and Scarlett Johansson. This is one of the worst Woody Allen movies ever. I love Woody Allen. I love movies like Manhattan, Midnight in Paris, Annie Hall, but this movie, Scoop, is probably got the worst storyline. It is trying to be this smart, complex, comedic movie, and it just fails across the board. This is hands down probably the worst Woody Allen movie, or at least my least favorite Woody Allen movie, and also Hugh Jackman movie. Number 20 is X-Men The Last Stand. Yes, X-Men The Last Stand is my least favorite X-Men movie. I've gone on and on about this movie. I can't stand this movie. Origins Wolverine is most people's least favorite, but this one is my least favorite. X-Men 1 and 2 were great X-Men movies, and this was the start of the downfall of some of the X-Men movies. Coming number 19 is X-Men Origins Wolverine. This movie is just god-awful. X-Men Last Stand is personally my least favorite, but I can understand why everyone hates this movie. This movie is not only a stupid X-Men movie, but it ruins great characters like Gambit, Sabretooth, Wrath, Blob, and of course Deadpool. It ruins every character that we all know and love from the X-Men franchise. It has terrible action, horrible dated effects, and again, it was just a stupid X-Men movie, and thank God First Class brought us some good X-Men movies, because these two X-Men movies were just awful. Coming number 18 is Van Helsing. It's Van Helsing, the story of Van Helsing, about a guy who hunts mythical, weird fantasy characters like Frankenstein, mummies, vampires, and Count Dracula and stuff. And again, this movie is really stupid, but this is kind of a movie I do watch every Halloween because how ridiculous and stupid it is. I do like Hugh Jackman in this movie, even though it is a dumb movie. It's almost just as stupid as like A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This is a god-awful movie. Richard Roxburgh's in this movie. He's awful. awful. Kate Beckinsale's in this movie. It is awful. It's got a horrible climax. It's got some horrible effects. But it's so cheesy and silly that I can't help but watch it every now and then. It's stupid, but I kind of watch it every now and then. I don't know why. Come number 17 is Someone Like You. Yes, this is a romantic comedy that is very cliche, very predictable. It kind of even has some unlikable, very annoying, very selfish characters. But yeah, it's not bad. Hugh Jackman's in it. He's great. He's charming. He's fine. Ashley Judd's in it. She's okay. She's charming. She's okay. But the movie is just so predictable, so cliched. There's just no point to watching it. Watch every romantic comedy in existence, then you've seen this movie. So yeah, predictable and pointless. Coming number 16 is Australia. Australia stars Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman. This 2-hour, 45-minute Western adventure movie, and my god is this movie boring. My god is this movie overlong. And my god is this movie ever pointless. I did not like this movie. Some people thought this movie would be an Oscar contender. Some people still give this movie justice and call it a great movie. It's not a great movie. Nicole Kidman's okay, Hugh Jackman's okay, there's some pretty decent shots in the movie, but it's not that great. Number 15 is Swordfish. Swordfish is sort of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a ridiculous, stupid movie, but I kind of enjoy it. I don't mind John Travolta because how silly he is in the movie. Halle Berry's okay. There's a small role of Vinnie Jones, and I do enjoy Hugh Jackman as this like hacker guy and stuff. Don Cheadle's in the movie. He's okay. The story's unoriginal, the premise has been done to death, but it's kind of fun in a weird way. There's a lot of stupid one-liners, it's got a really stupid twist at the ending, but again, it's kind of a guilty pleasure action movie. I don't know why I enjoy some of this movie. I have no idea why. Maybe nostalgia, because I watched this movie when I was younger, and still every now and then I do watch it. It's an awful, stupid movie, but I kind of enjoy it. Number 14 is Kate Leopold. Yes, Hugh Jackman, Meg Ryan, Breckin Meyer, Liev Schreiber, about a guy from the 18th century comes to the modern times, falls in love with a girl, Kate Leopold. This movie isn't that great. James Mangold directed this movie. Big fan of James Mangold. This is definitely his weakest movie. It's not that bad. The premise, the idea, and the plot holes are really obvious, but it's okay. Like, Meg Ryan, Hugh Jackman both have great chemistry in the movie, and I love Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman in this movie. He makes this movie really watchable. Like, this movie has some serious issues, and I can understand why people hate this movie, but Hugh Jackman makes this movie watchable. Come number 13 is The Fountain. The Fountain, a very visually stunning movie, beautifully shot film. Hands down, probably the weakest Darren Aronofsky. I love Darren Aronofsky. I love Black Swan, The Wrestler, all his movies, Requiem for a Dream. He's got such great movies. The Fountain is hands down the weakest movie. Also, Noah. This is his weakest movie. It doesn't have a flowing narrative. It's very confusing, especially in the ending, but it is very nice to look at. The shots are great. The visuals are great. Hugh Jackman's really great. I enjoy it, but I know it's the weakest Darren Aronofsky movie, but still enjoyable. Number 12 is Happy Feet. Happy Feet, yes, directed by George Miller himself. Yes, the director of the Mad Max movies. This movie has a big cast, some great animation, very colorful characters. All you kids definitely will love it. They made a sequel. Hugh Jackman's on the sequel, but he's in the first Happy Feet movie. It's a fine movie. It's nothing that great. It's not a groundbreaking animated movie. It's not a movie that is going to stand the test of time, but it's a fun kids movie that is definitely worth a one-time watch. Coming number 11 is Flushed Away. Yes, a DreamWorks animated movie that I do enjoy. I love the characters, love the idea, I love the premise. It's got some pretty good creative ideas in the movie, and it is fun. It's a fun adventure story. Again, not going to stand the test of time. It's not a groundbreaking animated movie, but it's definitely worth, again, a one-time watch. Come number 10 is the first X-Men movie. Yes, the first X-Men movie came in the 2000s, and this movie started the big comic book movie. Some people say Blade did. It kind of did, but this is the kind of movie a lot of movies wanted to be just like X-Men. It was the first big superhero blockbuster movie, and it was great. It's cheesy, it's dated at times, it's definitely not the best X-Men movie, but it's a fun X-Men movie, and this brought us Hugh Jackman to the screen, and we all fell in love with him in this movie. He's funny, he's great, he is Wolverine, for God's sakes, and it's all because of the first X-Men movie. Number 9 is Real Steel. Yes, Real Steel is directed by Sean Levy, and this is a movie a lot of people don't like, but I really enjoy it. This movie is like Rocky meets Over the Top, and it's a great movie. I love the relationship between Hugh Jackman and his son. I love them fighting robots like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. The visuals are great, the effects are great, the CG looks fine, the characters are interesting. I like Hugh Jackman. He comes off unlikable, but then he ends up very likable. I love the story, and again, the relationship between him and his son is a very great relationship. I love the soundtrack, the score, the fighting scenes. I just really like Real Steel. Some people hate it, but I like it. Number 8 is The Wolverine. The Wolverine, again, directed by James Mangold. This is a very great movie. It plays an homage to old school Japanese samurai kung fu movies, and it's great. Terrible villain, but great movie. Hugh Jackman's awesome. The actual real villain in the movie is pretty cool. The visuals are great. The action's great. I love all these Japanese actors. They're all great. And it's just a great X-Men movie, and it's no Origins Wolverine. This is the good Wolverine movie. Number 7 is Eddie the Eagle. Yes, I just saw this movie literally a month ago. I didn't do a review of it because I found there was no point to it. There's not much to say about this movie. It's just a great sports movie. It's very inspirational. I love Hugh Jackman and Taron Egerton both in this movie. It's inspiring. It's a great sports movie. I'm not a big fan of a lot of sports movies, but this is definitely a good one. I love a story about skiing. They don't do a lot of sports movies about skiing, but this movie is done right. There's some good comedy, good drama, and the chemistry between these two is really well done, and it's just an all-around great movie. Number 6 is Rise of the Guardians. Rise of the Guardians, yes, about all these fairy tale creatures like the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, Jack Frost. All of them are like these superheroes. They call themselves the Guardians. Great cast, beautiful animation. You got an awesome villain, the Boogeyman, played by Jude Law. All the voice acting is great. I love that Hugh Jackman is the Easter Bunny. Carrots are like nunchucks and stuff. He's got like a boomerang and shit. He's awesome. The Fisher's great. I love Santa Claus, voiced by Alec Baldwin. I love Chris Pine. Everyone's great in this movie. The voice acting is great. The action's great. The comedy's great. The animation style is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. Definitely one of my favorite DreamWorks animated movies. And yeah, this movie just kicks ass. Coming number 5 is Les Misérables. Les Misérables, directed by Tom Hooper. Not the best Tom Hooper movie. It's no King's Speech, but still a great movie, great musical. The entire movie is all in song, but it's really well done. This was a movie, top 10 movies I like, but everyone else hates. A lot of people really didn't like this movie, but I love it. I love the production, the makeup, the costumes, the songs, the music, the acting. Hugh Jackman's great. Anne Hathaway. Russell Crowe, not so much. And Don Javert. But Eddie Redmayne's fine in it. Samantha Barks is great. Helena Bonham Carter, Sacha Baron Cohen. They're all fine, except Russell Crowe, but I really like this movie. This is a great musical. Some people don't like it, but I love it. Coming number 4 is X2 X-Men United. Great X-Men movie. Way better than the first one. One of my favorite X-Men movies. Brought in an awesome villain, Stryker, played by Brian Cox. It got into more depths about the character of Wolverine. Brought in new characters like Iceman. You know he's in the first one, but he's bigger in this movie. You got Pyro and stuff. Nightcrawler, played by Alan Cumming. The action's better. The story's better. There's some great comedy. And it just feels like a great X-Men movie. X2 X-Men United is amazing. Coming number 3 is The Prestige. I mentioned this in my ranking of the Christopher Nolan movies. This movie is fantastic, about magicians. I love movies about rivalries and competition stuff. Christian Bale's amazing, Hugh Jackman's amazing, and you think Hugh Jackman, the lead character, is the good guy, but really he's kind of the bad guy. Christian Bale's more of the good guy. They're both amazing though. Scarlett Johansson's great, David Bowie, Andy Serkis, Michael Caine. Everyone's fantastic. It's a Christopher Nolan movie, so obviously you're going to get a great, smart, clever, dark movie, and it's brilliant. Number 2 is X-Men Days of Future Past. This is hands down one of my favorite X-Men movies. First Class is my favorite, but since Hugh Jackman is barely in that movie, I'm counting this one. This movie ties in the old cast and the new cast in one big movie. It is awesome. This movie is all about hope, and it's fantastic. The action's great. The visuals are great. The story is going in directions you don't know what's going to happen. There's some great twists and turns and stuff. You don't know how this movie's going to end, and when it ends, it feels so satisfying. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't even name the whole cast because that would take like 5 minutes. The entire cast in this movie is absolutely brilliant. This is hands down one of the best X-Men movies. First Class is my favorite still, but this is definitely one of the best. And my second favorite Hugh Jackman movie. And my number 1 favorite Hugh Jackman movie is Prisoners. Yes, Prisoners, directed by Denis Villeneuve, who did movies like Incendy, Sicario, and Enemy. This movie's fantastic. Roger Deakins' cinematography is absolutely stunning. The direction by Denis Villeneuve is brilliant. Jake Gyllenhaal is amazing as Detective Loki. Yes, Loki. And I love Hugh Jackman as Cal Dover, a guy who is missing as to where his kid is. Hugh Jackman is brilliant. I don't know why he didn't get an Oscar nomination for his performance in this movie. He is sensational in this movie. He is fantastic and scary as shit. This is not a spoiler because I don't want to spoil any twists or turns in this movie. This movie's fantastic. One of my favorite movies of 2013, and I love it. This is hands down my favorite Hugh Jackman movie. So yeah, that was my ranking of all of Hugh Jackman's movies from least favorite to my favorite. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, what is your ranking of all of Hugh Jackman's movies? If you haven't seen all of them, at least give me your top 10s or something. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.